And that's where the phosphorus blooms occurred, were in the sand, and how it removed the ability of the sand to filter phosphorus. So what I'm questioning is the impact of long-term use of the same sand on filtering phosphorus.
This is an item 5, and that will be addressed.
Great, thank you.
Was there a question about there?
I have a short statement, sir. My name is Richard Matska. I live in South Cod Pines, Grand Bend. I did replace my 55-year-old septic system. There was nothing wrong with it, according to the man that replaced it. I spent $6,000. That got us a weeping bed, the latest type of tank with everything else that was required. According to Corinne Nada, who is in charge of this, there has never been a septic system failure in Lambton Shores. So, and talking to the two people that handle septic systems in this area, they both say, as I do, the person that's going to find out about this first is you. Because if it's bubbling up from the ground, you're going to get to smell it, and you're going to get to fix it first. Anyways, Mr. Chairman, I was once again disappointed in Mr. Bonesteel and Mr. Weber, who have chosen to take this time to chastise this committee for being biased. I was at the ad hoc meeting where Mr. Bonesteel commented that several members were biased and in possible position to cause litigation. This committee has done nothing to deserve this comment from either this council member or the mayor. From what I can see, this committee has done nothing but attempt to bring forward actual truth and honesty. Over the past 4 years, we, the citizens of Zones 3 and 4, have heard many unsubstantiated statements which we have been asked to accept. We chose not to accept these statements. We searched out the facts and presented them. Unsubstantiated statements are not facts, but merely a statement meant to forward a position by its speakers. These are biased.
Is there a question here, Mr. Maska?
No, it was just a statement. Could I finish? It'll take a very short.
We'd
like to hear a question.
Oh, okay. Then my question is, what part of my commentary is litigious, Mr. Bonesteel?
Your commentary tonight or in the past?
Both.
Well, first let me correct you, Dick, and I think I'm glad these things are being recorded. You can go home and watch this video from last time because I think it will prove my point. I wasn't suggesting the committee was biased. What I was suggesting is that the language that was used at the last time was biased. It suggested a position which this committee should not have until the report is submitted in December. I think the question I asked you was, you as a ratepayer, did you not want an honest, open, transparent, objective report?
Absolutely.
Well, and then to that end, that was my concern, was that what I did not want to see is this committee get a reputation that it had already come to a conclusion before all the facts were in and the public were heard. So
most of the members of this committee, sir, are above reproach and have spent a great deal of time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Weaver and Mr. Byrne both referred to the 2011 creation of mandatory septic tank inspection, which didn't happen because the regulations were never put in. But we have the ability as a municipality to instruct the county, negotiate with the county, whatever the right term is, have the county do this. Ms. Nada came and spoke earlier this year. Was it January? Can you remember, was it January, John, or it was early this year? Okay. And she's been waiting, from what I can understand, for instructions from the council if you want open houses to talk about them. But more importantly, do you want to start a mandatory inspection within this municipality? I would highly beg you to do that, because the sooner we do it, the sooner we will know what units are working, what units aren't. And Gansby Manor has been very public with the fact that this area is above average in looking after their septic systems. But it's still nice to know if there's any problem. Factual. To answer the question, which you said was out of order, it's not yet mandatory to do inspection. As real estate people, we put them in all the offers now for pump outs and inspection to safeguard the buyer and the seller from lawsuits later and ourselves from lawsuits. So we
Is there a
recommend.
question, Bob?
Will you undertake to recommend that?
It's in the report, isn't it?
We're
In what
going to be looking,
In this report.
looking at
You haven't seen that yet.
mandatory inspection. I know that already there's problems with liability on that have been identified. What do you do if somebody's inspected, needs to replace it, and they don't have the money?
There's funds available apparently through provincial setup and municipal setup.
There's a lot of issues that go along with that have to
It
be.
doesn't matter what the cause is, we gotta find out where the problems are. Do we have the guts to do that? And I think we
This is
should.
within the purview of this
Yes.
committee to look at.
All I'm asking for is that you take that point forward,
We will,
because
yeah.
we've gotta do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll do it. Sure, John, do you have an answer for our?
Yeah, the current number of water accounts, and basically that's what the finance department tracks for zone 4 is 525 lots in zone 4. But there are a number of people, residents, that are still on wells system, so I'll guess that there's probably another 50 properties that might be bring up to 575 in that range. Zone 4.
By tomorrow, then I can call, you can confirm that by tomorrow, the others,
I'll give it a shot, yes.
I would appreciate it. Yeah.
The other, sorry,
Okay, go ahead.
Deputy Mayor, your question was in regard to?
The green energy initiatives
Yeah.
within the.
I don't have that breakdown, I can provide that for you. Was the other question about the operating costs or lease-out costs or something? No.
The other question just was, what would be the annual cost, unit costs for the sewage treatment facility refinancing, capital cost, and life cycle replacement costs
1.4 million.
each year?
Yes.
1.4 annually. Is
Yeah.
that for a dual train or for a single train?
That's for the dual train, and that's over, again, that is shared by the 3 municipalities proportionate on their flows. So this is an issue that has to be addressed, and how quickly those deployment systems will be bringing flows in, and how, really, it's a question for the other municipalities, how are they going to meet the capital cost of the plan? They're not assessing those costs to their ratepayers, potential benefiting property.
Ron?
Question with John, did you say there was 525 service lots or homes?
There's 525 residences on with water accounts, so it's a combination of residents.
Those empty lots that there's no homes on are now.
They wouldn't be counted, but there'd be some commercial lots along Highway 21, so it's a business, and
Yeah, there's subdivisions that aren't like fully developed yet.
it's
So
just based on the size
So
of
those were homes.
primarily.
Just a quick point of clarification through you to Mr. Byrne. You said in your presentation that you approached the governments and they said, get together a plan and then we'll see what we can do about funding. Does that mean that we could relook this whole big plan when there's really more of a need and they would come back with the same approach and say, well, we can come up with this funding later on?
Yeah, I think, well, that was part of the challenge when we approached the ministry about the situation with 3 municipalities trying to address this long-term view of how they would address meeting these needs of aging septic systems or septic systems in close proximity to the lake. Driving force was about protecting the lake and the economy that it generates, our beaches, the fishing, and so on and so forth. And that's what appealed to the federal and provincial governments, was 3 municipalities working together for one facility rather than each municipality building its own. We presented to them at the time that one challenge was building the facility to meet those needs. The other was the more daunting task, was how do you develop a collection system which is largely long stretches of rural territory, which adds to the expense, and as illustrated in Mr. Lewis's comments about the blue water assessment of how they would develop